Ever wondered why your cat seems to have a personal vendetta against your favorite vase? Well, you're not alone. This is a common phenomenon that has left many a cat owner scratching their heads in bewilderment and, let's face it, a little frustration. Welcome to the mystery of the toppling trinkets, a world where your feline companions seem to revel in the joy of gravity, sending your precious items on a one-way trip to the floor. Let's meet some of these adorable culprits. There's Tigger, for instance, a seemingly innocent, fluffy house cat with a particular fondness for picture frames. Tigger's owner, much like many of you, often wakes up to a morning surprise of scattered memories across the living room floor. But Tigger isn't the only one. There's also Whiskers, a sly calico who has an uncanny knack for knocking over anything glass. It's as if she has a sixth sense for finding the most fragile items in the house, and, with a single swat of her paw, she sends them crashing to the ground. Then there's Simba, a majestic Maine Coon who can't seem to resist the allure of a freshly filled water glass. His owner has lost count of the number of times they've had to mop up after Simba's little escapades. But why do these furry friends indulge in such antics? Is it a form of feline rebellion or just a mischievous streak? Are they trying to communicate something to us, or is it simply a game for them? Well, the answers might surprise you. As it turns out, our feline friends aren't just being naughty. There's actually a whole host of reasons why they might be engaging in this behavior, from their natural instincts to their playful nature and even their way of getting our attention. So if you've ever wondered why Tigger seems to have taken up bowling with your picture frames, you're not alone. But don't worry, we're here to delve into the fascinating world of feline physics and figure out why our cats love to watch the world, or at least our precious trinkets, come tumbling down. What goes through a cat's mind when they spot your precious trinkets perched on a table? Let's dive into the feline psyche. Imagine, if you will, a cat named Whiskers. He's a tabby with stripes that seem to dance in the sunlight, a tail that never stops twitching, and a penchant for knocking over water glasses. Why does he do it? Is it a personal vendetta against hydration? Well, not exactly. You see, cats are attention seekers. They've learned that knocking over objects gets a reaction from you. When Whiskers sends your water glass flying, he knows he'll have your undivided attention. Even if it's just for a moment, he's the star of the show, and he revels in it. But it's not just about attention. Cats are natural hunters, and their playful antics are often a reflection of this instinct. Your tabletop is a jungle in Whiskers' eyes, and that water glass? It's his prey. When he bats it off the table, he's not being malicious. He's simply honing his hunting skills. The thrill of the chase, the satisfaction of the kill, it's all part of the game. Cats are also creatures of curiosity. They're fascinated by the world around them, and they love to explore. When Whiskers knocks over a water glass, he's not just causing a mess, he's conducting a physics experiment. He's learning about cause and effect, about gravity and momentum. He's a little scientist in fur, constantly testing his theories. And don't forget, cats are tactile creatures. They love to touch and feel things with their paws. It's how they interact with the world. That water glass isn't just a drinking vessel to Whiskers. It's a texture to explore, a shape to understand, a puzzle to solve. So, next time Whiskers sends your water glass flying, remember it might just be his inner hunter coming out to play. How does a soft, cuddly creature like a cat become a force of destruction? Let's break down the physics. Meet Fluffy, your typical house cat. She's cute, she's cuddly, and she's got a knack for sending your favorite coffee mug tumbling to the floor. It's not personal, it's physics. Cats, like Fluffy, are precision machines with a set of finely tuned physical skills. One of the most significant is their paw control. Cats have an incredible ability to manipulate their paws with dexterity and precision. This comes from their retractable claws, which allow them to grip and control objects with a level of detail that would make a surgeon green with envy. So, when Fluffy swipes that coffee mug off the table, it's not a random act of feline rebellion. It's a calculated move, a precise application of force at just the right angle and speed. Then there's balance. If you've ever watched a cat leap from a bookshelf to the back of a couch without disturbing a single cushion, you've seen this in action. Cats have a highly developed sense of balance, thanks to their flexible spine and a tail that acts as a counterbalance. This sense of balance allows Fluffy to walk along the narrowest of edges, navigate cluttered surfaces, and yes, knock over that coffee mug without toppling over herself. But it's not just about balance and paw control. Cats are also masters of calculating trajectories. When Fluffy bats that mug, she's not just guessing where it will land. She's calculating the angle, the speed, and the impact. In short, she's a furry little physicist. So, the next time you find your favorite trinket toppled over by a feline, remember, it's not mischief, it's science. Fluffy isn't just playing, she's practicing her physics. She's exploring her world and testing the laws that govern it. So, while Fluffy may seem like a fluffy ball of chaos, she's actually a master of physics. How can you protect your precious possessions from your cat's playful paws? Time to strategize. As we've learned, cats have a natural curiosity that often leads to things being knocked over. But fear not, for there are ways to cope with these little catastrophes. First, let's talk about securing your objects. For those items that you simply can't risk being toppled, consider using museum putty, a non-damaging adhesive that can secure your items to shelves or tables. It's like magic, but without the wand and the fancy Latin words. Next, think about cat-proofing your space. This is not about restricting your feline friend's freedom, but more about creating a safe environment for both your cat and your belongings. Remove fragile items from high places or places where your cat loves to explore. If your cat has a favorite launching pad, like a bookshelf or a mantelpiece, consider installing some cat-friendly shelves nearby, giving your cat a more appealing alternative. Now, let's meet Shadow. Shadow was notorious for his love of knocking over vases. His owners were at their wits' end until they decided to provide alternative sources of entertainment. They introduced a variety of cat toys, from balls with bells inside, to feathered wands, to interactive puzzle toys. And guess what? Shadow's vase-toppling days were numbered. He was too busy playing with his new toys to even glance at the vases. So if you're dealing with a cat like Shadow, remember that a bored cat is a destructive cat. Keep your kitty entertained with a variety of toys, and they'll be less likely to use your possessions as playthings. It's also worth mentioning that regular play sessions with your cat can help to burn off energy that might otherwise be used for mischief. Lastly, patience is key. Cats, like us, have their own unique personalities and quirks. It may take some time to find the perfect solution that works for both you and your feline friend. So if you want to keep your vases safe from Shadow, you might just need to invest in some cat toys. So why do our feline friends love to knock things over? As we've seen, there are quite a few reasons, each as charmingly cat-like as the last. Firstly, let's recall Tigger. Tigger, like many cats, is a born explorer. This adventurous spirit often leads him to probe his surroundings with a good old-fashioned paw swipe. It's not that they're being malicious, they're just curious. They want to see what happens when that shiny object on the edge of the table suddenly meets the floor. It's their version of a science experiment, and we're living in their laboratory. Then there's Whiskers, who uses the topple tactic as a hunting simulation. Remember, cats are natural predators. The act of knocking things over keeps their hunting skills sharp and ready for action. It's like their personal boot camp, and your precious vase just happens to be the training dummy. Fluffy, on the other hand, does it for attention. Cats are experts at getting what they want, and if that means sending your coffee cup flying to get you to look their way, so be it. It's their version of a tap on the shoulder, albeit a bit more dramatic. And lastly, we have Shadow, the bored cat. For Shadow, knocking things over is a simple way to break up the monotony of the day. It's their way of creating a little bit of excitement in an otherwise routine day. So how do we cope with this behavior? As we've discussed, providing our cats with plenty of stimulation can help. Toys, playtime, and even cat-friendly apps can keep their minds engaged and their paws off your breakables. And remember, positive reinforcement goes a long way. Reward good behavior and gently discourage the not-so-good. So next time your cat knocks something over, remember it's just their way of saying they love you. Or they're bored. But it's mostly love, right? At least that's what we like to tell ourselves.